Hello everyone, welcome back to the second channel. So today I wanted to give a review of the HarryStyles concert that I just went to, which is going to be the show that he did in LA, the first night of the LA shows on October 23rd, 2022. And so if you want to skip right to my review, I will have timestamps on the screen right here to where you guys can go to. And the entire video will be timestamped, so if you want to skip around, then just check down below in my description box for the timestamps. And now onto a couple quick disclaimers. Number one, this is just my opinion and my experience. I'd love to hear yours down below if you've went to a Harry show in the comments. Just keep respectful, please. Sorry for any background noise or dust particles that may occur throughout this video. I'm going to be reading off my phone as I always do. Lastly, if I have anything else that I forget to add, check down below. I might have a pinned comment. Okay, so first up, I wanted to talk about my experience getting the tickets in the first place. So Ticketmaster has this thing called like the verified fan pre-sale, and so I had me, my mom, and my sister sign up so I have a chance to get in, and then I actually did end up getting one, and we actually all did, by the way. And so basically then I went to get tickets on the day of course, and then I actually got some, and I was so excited. I was like, yay, I have HarryStyles tickets, and I was so hyped and excited and everything. And then slowly I realized that my seats weren't as good as I thought they were. The price kind of gave it away, and then I looked at the little diagram on Ticketmaster once again, and then I was like, oh, I didn't get as good of tickets as I thought, basically. And I swear I picked the seats that I wanted. I don't know if it got changed. I don't know if I picked the wrong one, like I was paying bad attention. I don't really know what happened there. But anyways, after realizing I didn't get the seats that I exactly wanted, I went back whenever they had the general sale, and then I actually got some tickets, which were pretty expensive. Ticketmaster is evil. This whole thing they have of dynamic pricing is ridiculous, trying to get away scalpers, and just like the scalpers always find a way to get in. I feel like if they really cared about fans actually getting to see their favorite artist and, you know, getting rid of the scalpers, they would find a better way. Because why are you pricing your tickets higher? Because they're already in higher demand anyway. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You guys are just greedy. Dealing with them wasn't the best, and like I said, my tickets were a lot of money, and so I got pretty good seats, and we will talk about that later. But now I have the tickets that I actually want, right? Like I said, I had the tickets that I bought before, so basically I traded them for another show, and then I actually ended up giving them away to someone who really wanted to go, and everything worked out in that regard. And so that's kind of like my story of getting the tickets. Next up, I wanted to talk about getting there. For the most part, it wasn't really that challenging getting there. The only thing that was hard for us was actually getting into the parking. We did buy a parking pass beforehand, and if you do get a parking pass, it's actually pretty simple. Like, once you find the way to get in there, you go in, they scan your ticket, and then they actually pick a spot for you, and they're like, okay, park here. So it was really simple in terms of that. Like, you don't have a specific spot you have to go to or anything, but it was challenging for us to find it, and we just kind of had to keep driving around, and there was like a stadium or an arena next to that, so we kind of got confused with that. And also they blocked off a lot of the streets as well, so like the GPS would be like, turn right here, and you couldn't because they blocked off the street. So we had to drive around a few times, and then eventually we were able to get in and park and do all that kind of stuff. Now I wanted to talk about getting into the actual venue. What do you have to do? What's it like? So it was pretty standard in our experience. You know, you go and you walk through the metal detector, and you know, you put all your stuff in the tray. If you have a bag, they're going to check through it to make sure you don't have anything harmful, all that kind of stuff. Like, it was pretty simple in terms of that. And they didn't ask you to do a COVID test beforehand or ask to see if you had like your vaccine card or anything. I definitely think that they should have, just for public safety. You know, that's definitely something that I'm thinking there. And then also they highly recommended that you wear a mask, but they didn't require it. I personally chose to wear my mask the entire concert, and I saw some other people doing it, but the majority of people didn't. I'm sure that there's some people who are fully vaccinated, there's some people who weren't vaccinated, so that's like an entire thing. Maybe this could change in the future, but at the time I went, they didn't require that. So I thought that that was important to know for those who are curious, because their website is not helpful at all. Like, it's really confusing. Also, in terms of getting in, you know, I bought the tickets on Ticketmaster, so all I had to do was just like save it to my wallet app and then hold it up for them to scan for me to get into the actual venue, which was pretty easy. And I don't know how it is on like other ticket platforms, but that's at least how it worked for me. So on the screen right next to me, I'm going to have some information about the venue. That way, if you are going to one of these shows, you know exactly how to prepare, what to get, what to do, all that kind of stuff. And I think that there's more information out there. Just check like their Twitter or their website and stuff like that, or just check like his subreddit. But yeah, here's some information just for those who are gonna go to the show. And then I actually went with my mom because I was supposed to go with my sister, and then my sister didn't want to go anymore, so then I just went with my mom to the concert. Next up, I wanted to talk about seating really quickly. So basically, whenever I got there, I sat down in what I thought were my seats, and then I was like, you know what, I have a feeling that these are the wrong seats. So basically what I did was I went on the Ticketmaster app. I was like, you know what, let me check my seats again, and then I was like, okay, let me go find them. And the seats that I got were actually better than the seats that I had at first, which was already not a bad view. I was in like the 5th row, something like that, section like 103, I don't know, something like that, something in the hundreds. Next up, I wanted to talk about the opener, who was Ben Harper. So basically he did about like 7 or 8 songs, something around there, which was more than I was expecting him to do. I will have the set list on the screen right here just just for reference if you're curious about the songs that he did and everything, just to kind of like prepare yourself in terms of that. And so he started out about 8 o'clock and he went on until about 8:45. And so my thoughts on the set, his music is not personally for me, but I do think that he's talented. My mom really liked his set for the record, and he did do his own cover of Boyfriends, which was interesting, and I'll put a clip of that right here.
Are they just pretending that you know the game never ending? You lay with him as you stay in a daydream.
So after Ben finished his set, the crew took about 25 minutes just to clean the stage and just rearrange and bring up the instruments and all that kind of stuff for Harry's set as well. And I wanted to answer the question of when does Harry actually show up on the stage? And so before he came on, there was like this little visual on the screen that we could all see, and then the instrumentation of Daydreaming kicked in for a little bit, and that just kept looping and looping and looping until he came on. So for us, he came on at about 9:05, and then he came up from under the stage. And I have the video of him coming on the stage, so I will have it on the screen right here just so you guys can see. And so I thought he was coming on the stage like 5 times before he actually did, because that crowd cheered for literally every small thing, so they would just keep cheering over and over again, so I kept thinking he was going on the stage. Next up, I wanted to talk about Harry's outfit. So his outfit was absolutely outstanding. It was exquisite. It was exactly what was needed. I was really hoping he would wear a suit for us, something that was really cool, and he did not disappoint. What a moment. The picture should have already been on the screen at this point. Definitely shout out to all the photographers. They are great at their jobs there. None of these pictures belong to me, so definitely shout out to the people who took them. But yeah, I really could not have asked for a better fit. Like, the suit absolutely ate the perfect suit for our show. Very happy with the fit overall. Just something that really stood out and I thought was pretty cool. Next up, I want to talk about the set list really quickly. I'll have that on the screen right next to me just so you guys can see all the songs that he performed. And this is like the general set list that he's doing in America. Maybe he won't perform Medicine for You. Maybe he will. Some people didn't get Medicine. We did, which was great. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I figured I would show you guys the actual set list in case you were going and you wanted to know what songs he was going to perform and all that kind of stuff. And then the show lasted a little bit under an hour and a half, I believe. So next up, I'm about to show you some clips that I got from the concert. So of course, I'm going to have to cut out a lot of each song due to copyright. I'll try to keep in what I can, but that's definitely something important to know. And so I actually have clips of most of the songs myself, so most of the footage you're seeing is actually mine. And you'll notice as you keep watching, it definitely got better in terms of like the quality, because I was zooming in right and I got the lighting correct and whatever, so you'll notice that as well. I did get most of the songs, and the one that I didn't, I will have footage from my mom's phone because she recorded most of the concerts. And so my entire thing with the concert is I recorded the majority of the songs, but I only recorded half of most songs. That way I could have the recording, but I could also still enjoy it as well, because of course a lot of people are going to be recording the concert anyway. So I wanted to have, you know, my own footage, but also be able to enjoy it as well. And I actually got this idea because someone else, I don't remember who it was, but they said that they were going to a concert and they said that that's what they were going to do. And I'm like, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. When I go, I will do that. And so that's the entire thing. Also, if I would have tried to record the entire concert, my phone probably would have died. And, you know, I was going to take pictures after and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'll just record part of it. And my mom had part of it. So I think I left the show with like, you know, 30-40% on my phone. Also, I'm not singing in any of the clips because I'm a horrible singer and I didn't want to ruin the video, but I still had a fun time regardless. So here are going to be all the clips from the show.
but you. Got a new life, you talk. I go round and round, turn the lights. Maybe not ready for you, hold me in. You got
Also, in regards to the footage, I think that I did a decent job recording everything. If you wanted to know what I was shooting the concert with, I was actually using the iPhone 14 Pro that just came out, and then my mom has the iPhone 12 Pro Max just for reference if you wanted to know what we were recording with for the videos. And the videos that you're seeing, whenever I zoomed in the most that I could, which is going to be like the 9x zoom on the iPhone just for reference and everything. But I really like that I could like see everything. I just thought it was a really great view overall. Now I wanted to talk about Harry interacting with the crowd and reading signs and stuff like that. If you know anything about a Harry show, he loves to interact with the crowd and, you know, read the signs. So I was very excited for this part. So a couple memorable moments are this girl held a sign that said, "I missed therapy for this," and he was like, "No, we don't miss therapy ever." And it was just really funny the way that he interacted with the sign. So that was definitely something that was memorable. He helped this band come out, which was really great. And then this nurse also held up a sign as well that was like, "I have to be up at 5 a.m. for nursing school after this concert." And he was like, you know, "Thank you for all that you do," and stuff like that. And he read a couple more signs, but those are like the ones that are most memorable to me. Also, something that was funny as well is he saw this couple leaving the show and he called them out on it. He was like, "You can go if you want to skip the traffic," but he was like, "I'm not done yet. I still have 2 more songs." And so that was absolutely hilarious as well. And in general, he was really great with interacting with us throughout the entire show, which I really appreciated. He has great stage presence. Now I wanted to share my favorite songs that he performed at the concert. So first up, I have Daylight Written Down. Sounded just like the record. Absolutely gorgeous vocals in terms of that. One of my favorite songs on the new record. So I was really happy to see it live. I also have Late Night Talking written down here. As I said before, the live version of Late Night Talking is superior because the band, like the instrumentation, the horn, his band was incredible by the way. Like it just really makes it come to life in a way that the studio version just doesn't. Like once you hear the live version, so much better. Like I heard it first when he did it at Coachella, and then hearing the studio version, it was still great, but I really missed like that live aspect to it, you know. And so for him to have the horns out and just make it more lively was great. And also his vocals on here were superb. There was like a point where he lowered a part, but it still sounded really satisfying to listen to. I thought that he sounded great on the song. Another favorite for me on the new album, so I was happy to see that one. I also have Sign of the Times written down. His vocals on here were absolutely stunning. I really love what he did in terms of that, and just something that's really impactful whenever you listen to it. And then lastly, I have Medicine written down. So I'm really glad that he performed this for us. This was something that I was hoping was going to happen, and so it's just really great that it happened for us. And now I wanted to share my overall thoughts on the concert with you. So I thought that the concert was amazing. His vocals were on point. He sounded just like the record, if not better. Song for song for song, he absolutely killed it. He absolutely slid in terms of the vocals, and I was just really thankful in terms of that. Like I've seen some performances and some of them aren't the best. Like let's be honest, everyone has performances where it's not the best. You know, everyone has their best days, everyone has has bad days. That happens to every single singer out there. And I said before, I kind of wish that he would sing it more like the record sometimes and like not lower the notes. But like I said, even whenever he lowered the notes, it was still something that was satisfying to listen to. And most of the time he did sing it just like the record, at least for the new songs. I honestly think that this is the best that he's ever sounded live. And I think him having, you know, all the time to rest between the last show and this really allowed him to come out on top in terms of that. And so I loved his vocal performance. Like I said, it sounded just like the record. Now into my opinions on the set list. So I like the set list for the most part. Are there a few songs I could live without? Sure, such as like Watermelon Sugar, Treat People with Kindness, and also What Makes You Beautiful. If he deleted those off the set list, I definitely think that there's other songs that I would have liked to hear more. For example, Grape Juice, I really wish he would have performed that live. Canyon Moon, I really wanted him to perform that live so bad, you don't understand. Like, the fact that he performed it on the European leg of his tour, and then he got here and took it off the set list. Like, it just made me sad that he took the song off the set list because it's probably my favorite song from him, so I was hoping he would perform it, but it is what it is in that regard. And so, I do like Golden, I think it's a great song, but I kind of feel like it was great that he opened it up with like Daydreaming. And so part of me is like, for example, whenever he was in the European leg, I believe, I think he did Golden and then he did Music for a Sushi Restaurant, and those are both openers to the album. Those are both great ways to open to a show. So I kind of feel like maybe he should get rid of one of them or just like have it sequencing different, something like that. That's like at least my thoughts on there. So yeah, I like that song, but there's other songs I would have rather heard him sing, like Carolina or like Sweet Creature. Like those are some other songs that I really love as well, but I really like Golden compared to the other songs that I just mentioned, so I don't really mind it in the set list that much. That's just kind of like my opinion in terms of that. Also, I really thought that he was gonna perform Boyfriends and he didn't, probably because Ben Harper did it on his set and everything, and I'm honestly not mad at it. I do like Boyfriends. A lot of people hate that song. I didn't realize how much people hated that song until the album came out and everyone's like, oh, I hate that song. I've always enjoyed it. I really thought he was gonna do it, but with that being said, with the set list that we got, I honestly don't miss it. I think that he did a fine amount of, you know, slower numbers and some great up tempos as well, and it was pretty balanced out for the most part, so I don't really miss it in terms of that. Next up, I wanted to talk about his stage presence. So he had amazing energy all throughout the show. He was moving all throughout the stage. So if you got tickets at like one section of the stage and you're like, oh, he's never gonna perform in this section, like I'm only gonna see the back of him or the side of him one time, you don't have to worry about that. He's constantly moving all throughout the stage, interacting with the crowd and stuff like that. That's definitely something that I really appreciated, and he was really great at interacting with the crowd all throughout the show and checking in with us, which I really appreciated as well. He was dancing a bunch throughout the entire show, and his energy really is unmatched. He has great stage presence. He really knows how to work a crowd and just like have us in the palm of his hand. And he was really great in terms of that, so I really enjoyed it. It was just so much fun to watch because it really was a dynamic show and he has a lot of charisma, so I really appreciated his stage presence. The next thing that I wanted to say is I wish more artists would professionally record their concerts. I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why they don't. Maybe it's a money thing, maybe it's a space thing, maybe they just plain don't want to because a lot of people are already recording anyway, so like what is the point? But whenever Blood Orange opened up for Harry, I believe this was for the New York part of the tour, he actually recorded his set and he would sell it after in like CD and vinyl. And so this is something that I think a lot more artists should be doing because the show was so great and I would love to have a vinyl of it so much, something that's just like so unique and cool, and have professional footage of this, like to be able to watch the show back on my computer with like great cameras recording it. I would love that so much, and this is something I wouldn't mind paying extra for. Honestly, I feel like it's something that would be so cool and, you know, tailored to your experience and everything. And I understand a lot of artists don't like people recording during the concerts because they want to connect with them and all that kind of stuff, and I definitely think if more artists like recorded their concerts and just like send them the footage, I think a lot of people wouldn't mind necessarily not recording the concert. But this is something I always thought of in regards to the concerts, like having professional footage of this to watch would be absolutely insane. And so the footage from my phone is still really great and everything, but that's something that I've always thought. Next up is that my seats were excellent, and I'm really glad that I got some great seats. The first concert that I ever went to was Paul McCartney. Our seats weren't the best. It took us a bit to find it, and we had to watch most of it through the screen because we couldn't really see him because we were so far away and everything. And so I was like, the next concert that I go to, I'm gonna buy the best tickets that I absolutely can. And so I'm really glad that I had the chance to get these seats, and I'm really thankful for it overall. And I was standing up for the entire set. The people ahead of me were standing up the entire set, and you could kind of just feel the entire energy from the crowd as well. Like whenever he would have the crowd sing a song, and just it felt so lively. It was so much fun. And there is that whole thing of like post-concert depression where it's like the videos really never live up to what it was like actually being there. They just don't capture the exact same energy, but it was still great to feel the energy of everyone around me and the energy that Harry and his band were giving as well. So it was really cool in that regard. Next up, his band was was absolutely phenomenal. They are just such a tight unit and they're such great performers, all of them. So I really loved his band and what they brought to it, especially the horns. As a trumpet player myself, like the tone on there was absolutely gorgeous to listen to. And like I said, I think the horns definitely brought some songs to life, like I was talking about earlier. The horns on Watermelon Sugar though, those were really great, and it definitely made me like the song more because like it's definitely a song I've gotten tired of because it's one of his most popular songs, but the horns really brought it to life. And like I said, same thing with Late Night Talking and then Music for a Sushi Restaurant as well. And so I really love the horns on here. Saxophones were incredible, and yeah, just everyone in the band is just so talented. So I really love what they brought to the show as well. The next thing that I wanted to say is, why did he call this tour Love on Tour? Because it is incredibly confusing. I know that for the second album it was called Love on Tour, and then you know the pandemic happened, so dates had to get pushed back and he had to do this. I understand that, but I feel like after he finished all the dates that he was supposed to do and he knew he was going to tour for this new album, I feel like he should have called the tour something different, because some people didn't even buy tickets to this tour because they thought that he wasn't going to sing any of the new songs. My entire thought process is, of course he's going to sing the new songs. He just released a new record. It would be really odd if you released an entirely new record and you didn't perform one song from it. So I knew that he was going to do that, but that's definitely something that caused confusion. Also, something I want to say about the concert is it was pretty loud, so that's definitely something to be aware of. Some of you might need to wear earplugs. Part of me wishes that I did, because it was wonderful getting to hear everything, but wow, it was very loud. And like after we left the concert, I remember like us kind of like feeling like we had like headaches or something, and I felt kind of like tired of it in a sense. It's like I wasn't really mentally tired, I guess I was just like physically tired from that, you know, with the loud music and everything. So that's definitely something to be aware of. It's really important to protect your hearing. So overall, this is the best concert that I've been to so far. The first concert that I went to was whenever I went to go see Paul McCartney a couple years ago, and that was a great concert as well. I think I enjoyed this concert more just because I had better seats and everything, so I was really able to soak up the experience more. I feel like everything just aligned perfect for me. Like I said, I love the suit that he wore. The vocals were on point. Every single song he was just on fire in that regard, and he just killed it in terms of the vocals. I love the energy, I love the band, I love the horns. Everything on this show was just so great overall, and I'm so thankful that I even got to go in the first place. And I would highly recommend going to a Harry show if you have not been already, because this man is the real deal. You know, I saw people say like, oh, he gives a great live show and whatever, and watching his performances, you know, I can feel the energy only to a certain extent, but whenever you actually get there and you soak up the energy of the crowd, like it's a completely different ball game. Like he gets such positive reviews for a reason. Like he's really honed in his craft, and he just makes the show so enjoyable overall. And shout out to the band again, shout out to everyone who was involved in making the show what it is, the tour manager and everyone who coordinates this thing, because they've coordinated it so well. It's such a great environment and something that was so fun overall for me to go to. Overall, it just reinforced my love for the new record, and it was really good getting to hear the songs again. I listened to the record on repeat for months, and then I would listen to like once a month or whatever, like after a bit, just because I didn't want to tire myself of the record before I went to go see the show. And so it was really nice getting to hear most of the songs live from the record as well. And so it also reinforced my love for his work as an artist. I think that he's a great songwriter, singer, and performer, and instrumentalist as well. And so it just really made me appreciate that. And it also just made me want to go to more concerts in the future, because this is the first concert I've been to in 3 years. I saw Paul McCartney in 2019, and so it was really good getting to go to one, and I was so excited going in. Just the experience is so special. I'm just really glad that I was able to go to the show, because I was actually supposed to see him whenever he was touring Fine Line, and then I moved, so I wasn't able to go and I had to sell my ticket. But I'm really glad that this is the show that I went to, just because the seats were a lot better and I like this record more. So I just think that everything really came together nicely for this concert, and so I'm really thankful for it in that regard. And in terms of my mom's thoughts of the concert, she said that she really enjoyed it. She didn't really know most of the songs on the set list, but I definitely saw her having fun, so we both really had a good time at the concert. So after the concert ended, I did take some photos. I will have them on the screen right here just so you guys can see the fit and everything. Outside of the Kia Forum, they have like pictures from whenever he performed in LA before and stuff like that. I also have, you know, some lyrics from the new album, so you can take pictures of that after. And I took a bunch and I posted a couple on my Instagram and stuff, and I never posted my Instagram, so it was a bit, and I posted them on like my Twitter as well and stuff. So this is the actual fit that I was wearing, and I figured I would wear my Candy Moon shirt just because it was something that was unique. I'm sure a lot of people are going to go there wearing his merch, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to do something a little bit different, so I thought that that would be cool. My mom actually thought that that was a real place. I had to tell her no, it's a HarryStyles song, and someone just made merch for it. But I like the fit overall. Something that was comfortable. I was dressing for comfort. So after we took pictures, we went to go buy merch, and so my experience in terms of that, I was expecting these huge merch lines, because that's what you always hear about every time people talk about going to buy merch. But honestly, it was not that bad. Maybe it's just because we went to go buy it after the show, but we really didn't have to wait that long in line, honestly. And I was honestly scared that I wasn't going to be able to get merch at all, because, you know, I thought maybe it would sell out. After I went to the pop-up shop and I had everything that I wanted in stock, I was like, I should probably be okay. So that's kind of like my thought process going in. And if you wanted to hear about my experience going to the pop-up shop, I will have a card on the screen right here. And that just takes you to the video I did on it and showing like all the merch that I got in and stuff. But that was definitely an interesting experience as well. So after all all of that, and knowing that he's such a big artist and that LA is such a big city and he's going to be here for so long, I figured they know like, hey, like we need to have a lot of merch ready. And so they did, and I was able to get everything I wanted, which is nice. And now I'm going to show you guys all the merch that I got. So first up, I got the album tote bag right here, which is pretty cool. And then here's the other side of it as well. So this is something that I really wanted right here. And I believe I tried to buy it at the pop-up shop, and I think that they ran out of stock of this. And so I was hoping that I would finally be able to get one, and I'm glad that I did. Here's a closer view of the bag just so you guys can kind of see it for reference in terms of the sizing and everything, but the material is like a really good quality. So I really like this bag. So first up, I guess I can show you guys this little long sleeve number that I got right here. So this is going to be, you know, the bunny and then the TV on there, which is pretty cool. And then here's what the sleeve looks like for it as well. I remember seeing in his site that he had a white colorway of this, and I really wanted it in black. So whenever I went to the show and they had it in black, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. So really glad to have that. And then next up, I guess I can show you guys this hoodie that I got. So this is really similar to the trackless tee that was on his website whenever the record came out, you know, just a hoodie version of it. So, you know, you have the house on the front right there, and then on the back is just going to be trackless. I already had the trackless tee, but he was selling the hoodie for it, so I was like, you know, I might as well get it. I love a good hoodie to wear in videos. I wore this like multiple times over, and so I did end up getting it, so I'm thankful for that as well. And then I have one more thing to show you guys. So the last thing that I got is just going to be the standard shirt, you know, the Love on Tour thing, because I thought that would be cool to have as well. It doesn't have anything on the back for the record, in case you were curious in terms of that. So yeah, that's all the merch that I got. Depending on what show you go to, the merch could be different. I don't know if every city is going to have as good a stock as we had, because we are in LA, right? So that's definitely something to keep in mind in terms of that. And also for all the cities, he has different colorways of something. So for some hoodies, they have like a different color hoodie, for example, or like the long sleeve tee, or like whatever it is. So it really depends on wherever you're going to. I don't think I've seen a picture of the LA merch booth just yet. If I have, it'll be on the screen right now, of course. If I can't find one, it'll be something for somewhere else. But yeah, we had like kind of like different colorways for certain things, so it really depends on where you're going to. But we were able to get it after the show, so I'm thankful for that. And I actually do sell merch like every day as long as he's here, basically, I believe. And I have certain times that I sell it on the days that he's doing a show and on the free days and stuff as well. And I'm gonna have it on the screen right here, just so if you guys wanted to buy merch but like you didn't have the money or whatever, or if you're like, oh, go back and buy it another time, or like whatever it is, just so you have the information there. But yeah, it was available after the show. Really thankful for that. So something else that I wanted to note is that some people have put this entire concert on YouTube for the most part. I'm trying to find something in higher quality, and if I do, I will update the description. But if you wanted to watch this show, I will have it linked down below in the description so you can check it out for the people who have uploaded it so far. But that is basically going to be it. If you have any questions regarding my show or anything like that, like if you're going to see him on tour and you just want to know like etiquette and whatever it is, like leave them down below in the comments, because I would absolutely love to answer them. Of course, I really tried to make this video as thorough as possible and really touch a lot of bases and just answer some common questions, just in case if you're going to an LA show, you kind of already know what it's like based off of my personal experience and everything. But if you have additional questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Also, if you have seen him so far on tour, let me know down below in the comments what your experience was like, what were your favorite songs and all that kind of stuff. Like, let me know special moments in terms of interacting with the crowd, because I would absolutely love to read them. Something that's so fascinating to me. If you wanted to see more videos on HarryStyles, I will have a card on the screen right here to where you guys can go to. That just takes you to all the videos that I've done on him at this point. It'll also be at the end of this video and linked down below in the description if you want to check it out. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, give it a like down below. It helps me out a lot in the YouTube algorithm. I very much appreciate it. You can subscribe right down below if you want to see more videos like this. If you hit the bell, you get a notification on your phone when I post so you not miss when new videos come out. The first link down below in the description is going to be my main channel, so if you wanted to see a lot more of me, definitely check me out on there. I'm a lot more active on that channel. Also going to have my Twitter, my Instagram, my Spotify, as well as links to some of the shows like I was talking about if you wanted to check those out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.